Hello, I'm back now to discuss translation. And in this video, specifically, I'm going to talk about process of translation. After a few videos about literature, like how to interpret fictions and how to interpret poetry, let's now discuss process of translation. Have you heard about process of translation? I think you have been familiar with the concept of process of translation explained by Larson in the book Meaning-Based Translation that involves discovery of meaning and re-expressions of meaning. Now, I'm going to talk about process of translation based on NIDA in Margono 2002. I take this explanation from the book entitled Essentials of Theory and Practice of Translation, written by my lecturer, the late Mr. Margono, in 2002. He was my lecturer when I took my master degree in Udayana University in Bali. Well, as you can see here, there are 4 steps that can be involved as process of translation. The first one is analyzing source language into basic forms. Okay, and the second one, transference into receptor language. The third one, restructuring, and then formulating into final version. The translator first analyzes the message of the source language into its basic forms or basic clauses, transfer it to the receptor language, then restructures the message in the receptor language in the way most appropriate for the audience the translation is intended for. The multi-stage process can occur quickly, right? And the translator may not be aware of it, but all the same, a careful translator will perform such a process. Okay, the process of analysis may consist of, okay, you can see here the first step is analyzing source language into basic forms, and the process of analysis may consist of, number 1, analyzing grammatical relationship between constituent parts. The second one, identifying the meaning of the semantic units. And the third one, finding the connotative meanings of the grammatical structures and semantic unit. Let's now use the examples from the examples of translations from English into Indonesian. The example is the sentence, "The Balinese themselves are drawn to exhibition of trance and find them as interesting as the tourists." How is this sentence translated into Indonesian? First, the first step is analyzing source language into basic forms. In this step, the translator must think of the basic forms of the sentence in English. So there are several basic forms that can be identified. Like, for example, there was an exhibition, it was a dance, the dancers were in trance, and there were many people, there were foreign tourists and Balinese people. The tourists look on the exhibition with interest, and Balinese people look on the exhibition with as much interest. The transfer into the receptor language can be identified like this. Ada pertunjukan, pertunjukan itu tari-tarian, terjadi kerauhan. Trance here is translated into kerauhan. This is a special term in Balinese. Kerauhan as the closest equivalent for trance. Okay, and ada berbagai orang for the translations of there were many people. Ada wisatawan asing dan penduduk setempat, wisatawan tertarik kepada pertunjukan itu, orang Bali tertarik juga kepada pertunjukan itu. Okay, when these basic forms are restructured, okay, there is a restructuring process. The basic forms are transferred into ada pertunjukan tari-tarian, penarinya kerauhan, berbagai orang tertarik menonton pertunjukan itu, dan the last one is semua penonton, wisatawan asing dan orang Bali sendiri tertarik kepada pertunjukan itu. So, the translator may arrive at a number of final versions, one of which might be like this. Pertunjukan tarian yang penarinya mengalami kerauhan dikunjungi banyak penonton, termasuk wisatawan asing dan orang Bali sendiri. Pertunjukan itu sama menariknya bagi wisatawan maupun orang Bali. So, the authority to judge how close the given translation as an equivalent to the source language text are only the competent bilinguals. Of course, before they give their judgments, they should have carefully examined the linguistic context and the context of the situation. Okay, I think that is all for the discussions of process of translations. I come with the idea of these 4 steps taken from NIDA, written in Marikono in 2002. I hope you can also learn from the examples, the case of English-Indonesian translation, to show how process of translation occur. I thank you for your attention, and let's discuss more about translation in the next videos. Enjoy your time, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe this channel. Bye-bye. Stay happy and stay healthy.